Stephen Colbert made his Late Show debut this week, not just with the likes of George Clooney, but with Jeb Bush and a highly emotional conversation with Joe Biden in the wake of his son's death.
First of all, it's a little embarrassing, this being about me. There's so many people, maybe some people in the audience, who've had losses as severe or worse than mine and didn't have the incredible support I have.
It's going to be emotional for a lot of people if you don't run. And, sir, I just want to say that I think that your experience and your example of suffering and service is something that would be sorely missed in the race.
Joining us now from New York is Stephen Battaglio, television and media writer for the Los Angeles Times. And Steve, does it help or possibly hurt Colbert that so much of his show in this first week has been about politics, Bush, Biden, a bit that he did about Trump?
I think it helps. I think he was a political satirist on Comedy Central, and he was very comfortable with politics. You're launching a new show. You're still trying to kind of figure out what it is. I thought the show was a bit uneven the first week. But this is a zone that he's very comfortable in talking about politics. The nation is certainly very interested in it. He will get a lot of attention doing these interviews while he figures out what he wants this new show to be. And look, as you know, everybody is really engaged in this campaign and talking about this campaign.
Right.
He made news every day because of these interviews.
Well, that doesn't hurt, but could he alienate part of the audience since Colbert obviously leans left? I mean, he was perfectly fair and polite to Jeb Bush, but with that emotional interview with Joe Biden, we saw him practically begging the vice president to get into the race.
No question. He's a liberal guy. I think what makes him different is that he's a man of faith. I think one reason why he got Joe Biden to agree with this interview is that they're both serious Catholics. You know, most late-night hosts, if you ask them who they worship, they're going to say Johnny Carson before they say Jesus Christ. Stephen Colbert is really different. I think that gives him a certain dimension, and I think a lot of the audience that may not necessarily agree with him because of his politics will like that about him. They'll see that there's something there that they can connect with, just as Joe Biden connected with him.
I can't imagine any other late-night host having that kind of serious and emotional conversation with a potential presidential candidate, vice president of the United States. Of course, Colbert himself lost part of his family, including his father, in a plane crash when he was 10 years old, and he brought that up, and the two seemed to connect on that. The contrast with Jimmy Fallon, Trump did the Tonight Show Friday night, and Fallon dressed up as Trump and did a funny shtick, but it wasn't, you know, that same serious conversation, which brings me to a different race, the ratings race. Given what you've seen from this week, his humor, his focus on politics, can Colbert beat or be competitive with Jimmy Fallon and with Jimmy Kimmel?
He had a very big first night because of all the promotion. Jimmy Fallon won the rest of the week, and he had a very big night on Friday because of Donald Trump. I think that right now he has the audience that he had at Comedy Central. I think they've followed him over. The question is, are you going to be able to broaden that out? Now, let's remember, there hasn't been a lot of great lead-in prime time. The shows are in repeats, and they're low-rated summer programs. So he'll have he'll have a new fresh fall lineup that will promote it, will get more people to sample it, and I think that you do have to be different. I think that's one thing. He has to find a place here. You don't have to be #1 to be a very successful business.
Right. I got to go, but you're right. Why do the same act as everyone else? Stephen Battaglio, good to see you this Sunday. Thanks
for having me,
coming by. Ahead, Laura Ingraham on why some conservatives